John S. McCain, arriving. Destroyer Squadron 23, arriving. Honor Bosun, post the side boys. Color guard, parade the colors.
Forward. Arm. Left. Left. Color guard. Hold. Shoulder. Arms. Left. Face.
Petty words.
Welcome everybody. Thanks for coming. What a beautiful day in the Pacific Northwest in San Diego. Wouldn't you believe it's pretty hot down there? I might not know that, but I just stopped over into San Diego, which is where my office is, for a brief minute before I flew up here. I just come from Hawaii after a week of chasing submarines with one of our other ships. But I'm glad to escape the heat, even though I didn't really spend too long experiencing it. It's always great to come up here to the Pacific Northwest in this clean, fresh air. Lots of family here today. The Tran family. So I'd like to welcome a lot of you here. You've traveled a great distance just to be here for this special day, and I appreciate it. And so I want to make sure that I recognize everybody who came, because you played a part in Commander Tran's success, and I know that you're overjoyed that he has really led this ship in a successful command and the culminating day. But before I do that, welcome to all the commanding officers, Captain Menzel, destroyer captains, and everybody who's joined us today outside the lifelines. So, Thoy Tran, so on some of these names, I'm gonna be challenged, so I have to be forewarned there. Hopefully he'll give me some grace on that. Thoy Tran and Ni Tran are watching from the home in Houston, Texas, I think on Facebook Live. Ensign Thien Vu, Republic of Vietnam Navy, last to commission before the war ended, from the Orange County area. Dr. Duc Tran, Republic of Vietnam, Army medical doctor, 10 years in re-education camp, and worked with the U.S. Army and Royal Australian Army, resettled in Australia at the moment. Tom Phan, son of Uncle Duc, successful entrepreneur who owns a Thai Vietnamese restaurant and farm in the Melbourne area of Australia. And then the friends, Captain Mimi Phan, is a U.S. Public Health Commission officer. You live in Virginia, pharmacist by trade. Lieutenant Commander Vu, Navy Reserve, PAO officer. LSC Bang, again, Navy Reserve, LSC retired. Miss Lone Ha, a close family friend. Thoy Do, close friend of the family. Tai Nguyen, close friend of the family. And then, of course, rounding out the family guest here, we've got the Gunta family with two beautiful little ladies. Allison, they look fantastic. Wonderful to see you all here. And Charlotte and Sophia, thank you for joining us. There's quite a bit of history wrapped up in today's ceremony that serves to both inspire and remind us that we're all in the presence of America's nobility and all in the hands of the good shepherds. This is a special day. It's a culmination of one man's personal efforts and investment over the course of 18 months to leverage time and task to meet mission, to cultivate an atmosphere of productivity and prosperity, and to ready a crew for action in peace and, when necessary, in war. Big Bad John, Johnny Mac, nicknames with a purpose. Named for John Sidney McCain, John Sidney McCain Jr., and most recently added to the ship's namesake was a grandson and son of both John S. McCain III, perhaps the McCain you are most familiar with, who was a senator representing the state of Arizona. The cumulative accomplishments of these three men is incredible and serves as an enduring example of service to our nation. 2 four-star admirals and 1 U.S. senator, selflessly serving across World War I, World War II, the Korean War, and the Vietnam War. A family dedicated to defending America's values, committed to giving their last full measure, if that's what it took, to voluntarily serve our great republic. And now today, the ship, the crew serving on Big Bad John, and without question, carries on the tradition of the very same ideals that the McCain family held so sacred. It's not a coincidence. The fighting spirit, the commitment of the destroyer men and destroyer women that man this exquisite instrument of war, and the fight that resides in each and every one of them. It's part of their DNA. But that DNA is underpinned not just by the ship's namesake, but that DNA is the legacy of a fine leadership that has been blessed this ship throughout the years. And within that legacy, and soon to be part of the glorious history of Johnny Mac, is Commander Tin Tran. Relentless, decisive, persevering, and never quit attitude. That isn't by accident. It's a broader reflection of the character of men and women who chose to do the difficult task. The tasks that create discomfort, but yield success. The work that grinds at the soul, but results in tangible victories. Fortune favors the bold. On March 23, 1983, Tin's dad, a former Republic of Vietnam Air Force airman, and a much younger Commander Tran, made their escape from Vung Tau, Vietnam. It would take them 7 days to make the 500 nautical mile voyage to the oil rig fields off the coast of Malaysia. During the transit across, they had to evade Russian warships, because if they were caught, they would be returned back to Vietnam. They did not encounter any U.S. warships during the transit, and unfortunately, otherwise they would have been rescued many days earlier. They did, however, encounter bandits who robbed the boat of any valuable possessions, but not food, which gave them endurance at sea. After nearly a week at sea, cold, wet, hungry, and sick, an emergent medical issue arose and required immediate assistance. If not acted upon, a woman on board would have most certainly died. With oil rigs in sight and using his limited English and French, Mr. Tran, Commander Tran's father, was able to contact the rig teams and convince them that all they needed was emergent help. And the oil rig teams took them on board and arranged for transport by a ship from the oil rig to Pulau Bidong Island of Malaysia, a UN temporary camp. From Malaysia, they would eventually be resettled at a UN refugee camp in Bataan, Philippines, before being sponsored by a generous American named Mr. Frank Devlin. That was July of 1984. This group of Vietnamese refugees, amongst them, loved members of the Tran family, were a small part of over 1 million plus refugees who attempted to escape a country at war. Tens of thousands were not fortunate enough to make it due to weather, shipwrecks, piracy, and other misfortunes. On the boat that day, as it pushed away from the embattled shores of Vietnam, the fortune changed for those refugees, and with it changed the fortune of America and our Navy and our Commander Tran. Braving the unforgiving seas, the brutality and ruthlessness of pirates, and the threat of enemy warships, none of that stopped the bold actions of the Tran family. A family dedicated to defending America's values, committed to giving their last full measure, if that's what it took, to voluntarily serve our great republic. Sound familiar? This is our Navy in America today, made up of a kaleidoscope of generations that have sacrificed and endured hardships to experience what it is that makes our country exceptional. But it also compels us to understand the responsibility that we have assumed, certainly as Americans, but moreover as sailors. The sailors of Big Bad John have not only fully embraced this, but have thrived and excelled under the pressure that comes with the immense responsibility of carrying the flag of our great republic. All volunteers, these men and women of Destroyer 56 are the blood and treasure of our nation, and they routinely answer the bell. Time and again, they prove what it means to be loyal patriots, wedded to the virtues of an America that the world admires. A force in the South China Sea, John S. McCain was a regular in and around the Paracel Islands, Scarborough Reef, the Spratlys, the Taiwan Strait, Guam, the Sea of Japan, the Yellow Sea, and has covered every single inch of the 1.3 million square miles of the South China Sea and adjacent waters. As you look around, the ship is finishing up a $70 million maintenance period, not the least of which is an incredible feat. Some of those maintenance teams have joined us today. None of these operations or successes are nearly as remarkable as the sailors who have approached every endeavor with grit and tenacity. But no one walks alone. 10, you have led these sailors and understand that personal responsibility and personal accountability is critical to victory. You have done a superb job while this legendary warship has been under your command. Your sailors have thrived, and the ship has measured up on every occasion and with every mission. Upward and onward to the future. But what does that future look like? Tomorrow's war is a destroyer's war. Tomorrow's war is a destroyer's war. The enemy is doing push-ups at our door and will not relent, nor will it give up. We will train and train and train more with the prospect that war is on the horizon. We will be ready. We will work to be better, to get better, and to be real about what progress looks like and how we will achieve it. From E1 to O10, we'll keep our eyes on the prize and realize that we have not a moment to lose. All of us are stronger than one of us. And it is you, the crew of Big Bad John, that will carry the torch. In Gaelic, as the saying goes, L'Sher Oim Au, the torch that leads to victory. XO and CMC, you have done a remarkable job. Your courage has been on full display and is an example of fortitude, grace, and humility. Your efforts have ensured continuity of purpose, sustainment of meaning, and consistency of value. Thank you for that, and for the effort that is to come. Commander Gunta, Joe, prospective commanding officer of this great ship, all that you've done up to this point has prepared you for the accountability, the authority, and the responsibility that comes with command. It will be pressurizing, at times unforgiving, and certainly rewarding. You'll have moments of doubt, but those will be fleeting when you're reminded of the ingenuity, the grit, and tenacity of the sailors that stand before you. The ship will need you, all of you, in every endeavor. It's a commitment unlike any other. 3 things must prevail as you become the decider. First, you must work to be an authentic leader who, with every decision, builds trust up, down, and across the chain of command. Your ability to accept feedback and seek to understand will be key to your success. You will focus on what matters most. You, along with your team, will spend your time on important things because your time is important. You will be the chief arbiter of things that are unimportant, an exceptionally critical responsibility. And third and final, you'll commit time to ensure you are building a team that learns, that grows, and leverages experiences, both negative and positive, to bolster comprehension, competence, and performance. You are ready, and I am excited to see what you, Commander Yace, and CMC do with the gifts you have been given. To our good shepherds, our nation's protectors, the less than 1% of America that has chosen to go in harm's way, the bold and audacious sailors of Johnny Mac, thank you for all that you do, for everything that you are, and for the daily sacrifices that make our Navy successful. 10, we're exceptionally proud of you and your accomplishments. You can rest assured that the legacy you built in Warship 56 was historic. You have been an outstanding steward of the McCain family history, and you have delivered excellence at every juncture. You have been bold, and good fortune continues to be on your side because you put in the work. You care about your sailors, and you have committed your life to all that is good and noble. Thank you. As a token of my appreciation for you and your hard work in Desron 23, I've got something for you to take away with you today. Hopefully these guys can bring it over to me. It's a representation of what it means to command a warship of the line and to approach every challenge with a knife in the teeth attitude. So this isn't part of my speech, but I really enjoy what's on the inside, the inlay of this box that comes with the knife that I just presented the captain. I won't say it all because there's a number of things here, but it's essentially the it's about Red Ryder Cowboy Honor Club. I don't have one of those, but the box says it, but that's not important. What's important is what's written inside, and I think everybody can identify with it. It starts out with, I am the heart of my country. My word is my bond. Imagination inspires my vision. Nature is my wonder. Kindness my guide. And wisdom my prize. It goes on to list about 10 different codes to live by. And I'll just cherry pick a couple, just so you understand that this stuff is golden. And it's written on the inside of a box that's made for young men and women rising to trying to be good young men and women and contributing to society. So I'll just say a few of these before I finish up here. My family fills my heart's desire. I am their shield. They are my roots and my seeds. I am fair-minded. I use reason, goodwill, and good humor to find common ground. I seek the skill, dignity, and good manners of others who share positive goals. I honor elders and respect traditions, for they hold the unbroken circle of wisdom that guides me. I am strong, like the wings of the eagle, ever watchful and swift to defend. I am the heart and mind of America. The USA is my home. Thank you and congratulations, Tin.
Thank you, Commodore. Ladies and gentlemen, John S. McCain.
I think, Commodore, first off, thank you so much for the kind words. I think, as you see, we had to move the flags because I think God wanted us to have some wind up here, because I know that you guys are having to endure the midday noon sun right here, and I apologize, and I'm going to keep this short so we can keep it going, because the 3 years I've been here, it has been about all sailors, and I don't want them hanging out here and then dropping out. But what I want to say first is, Captain, thank you so much for coming. We're neighbors, so I'll see you again. But to my brother, sister, COs, thank you so much for making it back from deployment. And Matt, right now, leading the way as we head into the basic phase. It's important for us to get together and break fellowship, fellowship together. And the brothers and sisters of the COs of the waterfront, please continue that on and carry that, any opportunity we have, because that's how we support each other. And please take care of Joe in that same respect. To my mom and dad who's watching, one of my sisters here all the way from Hawaii. Lon and my sister, Mylin, who's also watching from Texas, helping my dad through his medical issues. Thank you so much for dropping everything and coming up here. And hopefully I have made you proud. To my parents, hopefully I have made you proud that I've become a good citizen. Being up here today, I didn't write a lot. There's no speech. There's a bunch of names. Because of the fact that I wanted to go exactly to what Commodore said. As a CEO, requires us to be authentic. I'm trying not to meander on here too much, but I wanted to recognize people who have made and are making John S. McCain successful. The first is, I would like to recognize Mr. Tin Tran. And please come on up, Con, and Mr. Brian Plackett. Mr. Tin Tran is our project manager. He's our government project manager. Mr. Brian Plackett is the General Dynamics NASCO lead maintenance activity lead maintenance activity ships manager. I have two gifts for you that I wanted to present as a symbol, a small symbol of my gratitude. Hopefully, yep, Brian, of what you have done through this avail to make it successful. Where we are at right now, we're on track to finish on time. We're on track to finish on time because of the fact that each and every day, Brian, Con, the project team, the sailors, the men and women who are the contractors, the discos, that's his name, Hollywoods, John, the Josephs, that are out there, taking care of this ship to get us back to war fighting. And that's what this ship is built for. Thank you so much, Brian. Thank you so much, Con. Each and every day, I'll miss you guys. One of the things is, the question is, can this be replicated? I hope so on other ships. But you guys set the example from day one, and thank you so much. Next, I wanted to recognize two very important people in the command. I mean, there's 326 very important people in the command, but two people who volunteer their time and service to go and help our Big Bad John family spouses. Whether it is picking up the phone when someone needs to say, has to vent or ask for help, ask for direction. Natasha and Savannah have absolutely been there for the crew and for the ship. One of the things that Cam and I, XO and I talked about, Commander Yates and I talked about, is like the last 4 weeks that I've been gone recuperating, the Ombudsman program was never the thing on the top of his mind as he entered into the acting CEO role because of Natasha and Savannah. Please come up, and I have a gift to present to you. Savannah. And we have flowers for you. A lot of presents, yes. You've done so much. I mean, this is only a small token. I'm trying to, if I'm being too formal, it's because I'm trying not to cry here, so thank you so much, ladies. Next, when you go into a leadership role, whether executive officer or the command master chief, leadership is expected of you. That's why they select us. That's why they screen and select us out of those that, have very difficult records that they have to go through and make those selections. And I will tell you, being in a situation where if you didn't know, I had a stroke. For those that didn't know, I had a stroke about 4 weeks ago. And one of the things is that Commodore, who I will, when you go, if you go into a fight and you say, hey, I need someone to be at my side, Commodore, I will always be there. Because Commodore flew up, he would have flown up that evening if there was a flight, but there wasn't any, and so he had make it the next day, and then he snuck into the hospital and to see me. And one of the things he said is, Tin, don't worry about Jonas McCain, worry about recovering, because you have a great team, and that is your XO. That is your CMC. They will be acting CEO. Well, Cam will be the acting CEO, and he's gonna take care of the crew, and the team that you have built will take care of it, and they have absolutely did. And I want to be able to present both of you with a small gift. So, I am the 19th CEO of Jonas McCain. Joe, you'll be blessed with the even number. But one of the things when I was prepping into command, I got commissioned 19 of these flags to be made to hand out to people that I feel have made a significant impact to Jonas McCain. And that's why you see Commander Yates and CMC Moyes receive them, because of the fact that 4 weeks and the ship operated without a skip and on track for completion of the SRA on time. Next, I'd like to invite Captain Mimi Fan, our public health officer, also called, what I like to make fun of her as, the Navy Light. Captain Mimi Fan, Commodore, I don't know if you remember back in the fall, we had this one gauge that we needed from the Mason. Chang came up to me and said, so we need this. We can't get underway on Monday. And it was too late on that Friday to get it over DLA, get it overnighted, and get it over here. I sat down and thought about this, because like, oh man, how do I get this part over here? And now I'm gonna ask a very personal friend to do something, even though when she rode the ship, I actually forgot to tell her to put the safety rails on her. She got tossed off a rack apparently from the sea state. But I did. I called her and I asked Mimi, I need this part. We're gonna get it off. Chang has a friend who's gonna get it off the ship. They're gonna run it over to you at the airport. Can you get it and then bring it to me? She said, absolutely. So she took the flight from DC, flew down to Norfolk, handed it, or went outside, got back in, got questioned by security as to why does she have a gauge, part like that. And then got back on the last flight out from Norfolk, flew back to DC, woke up at 4 or 5 in the morning, flew here at 10:00. Chang went down to Tacoma, Seattle to pick up that part to get us underway that following Monday. Thank you so much for everything that you've done. Even coming here the last couple of days to help out. You literally are like a sister to me. Thank you so much, baby. So, I wasn't anticipating a gift from you, but I do have a gift for you. I'd like to present you also with a Big Bad John flag. As I mentioned earlier, I will follow this man into hell, and we will fight our way back out. You know you have a great leader when your leader will fly up once he gets the word that something happened to you. My family did that. I don't normally expect it out of my boss, but I truly am blessed because of that. Next, I want to thank Admiral Chadwick and Admiral Kitchener. For those that don't know, they are the Strike Group Commander, Strike Group 9, as well as Admiral Kitchener. Vice Admiral Kitchener is the SWO boss. When I was laying in the hospital recovering, Commodore gave them an update. They asked about my status. Our community has never been so tighter. The support that I have received here from the ship, from family, from friends and co-workers, extends all the way down to San Diego, to my boss's boss's boss. And that's absolutely amazing. For those two, I will also go to hell and back. Admiral Kitchener and I have, he presented me an award back when I was a 04. And I mentioned to him at one of the training symposium that I am blessed to be a CEO under him, for him. I know he's not watching right now, but hopefully the word will get back to him. How much I appreciated his love and care for Jonas McCain also. And next, I want to thank Noy, Lily, and Daniel. They're going into their tween years, so as you guys can imagine how hard that is. But I couldn't have been blessed with more amazing kids and an amazing wife. Each and every day that I was in the hospital there, Noy came down and took care of me and helped me and be there with me. We expect that, right? We expect that from our families. But you know what? It's when it's demonstrated that cements it even more so. For many lives, and many more lives, my love for my wife, Noy. I'm hoping that in my next life that we will be together again. I'm so blessed to have you. And finally, to the men and women of Big Bad John, I said all the words that I had to say on Friday so that I would not be emotional here today. But let me say to you one more time, thank you. Thank you for everything that you do each and every day. Look out for each other. Be your shipmate's keeper. You left home just as I did 24 years ago. You entrusted your families, your mom and dad, your grandparents entrusted you into our care. And now today, I will entrust that to Commander Gunther. Joe, thank you so much for being an amazing XO. The team that you inherit today, the team that you lead today, and today they will bung you off as Jonas McCain. That is the legacy, as Commodore has talked about. It's a proud legacy. You inherit a team that we could not ask to do any more, because the last 4 weeks have demonstrated that they have done and will continue to do even better. And they will look at the adversity and the challenges of the basic phase and the deployment as something that will propel the ship to greater heights and their careers to even better prospects. Finally, thank you so much one last time for everyone to endure this hot sun here. In my words, God loves us, and God apparently loves me because he's sending some wind to cool us down. Thank you so much. Fortune favors the brave.
Civilian guests, please remain seated. Military guests and USS Jonas McCain, attention to award. Captain O'Mahony will now present Commander Tran with his award. Assisting with the presentation of the award is the Command Master Chief Moise. The President of the United States takes pleasure in presenting the Meritorious Service Medal to Commander Tin T. Tran, United States Navy, for for service as set forth in the following citation. For outstanding meritorious service while serving as commanding officer in USS John S. McCain, DDG56, from February 2021 to August 2022. Commander Tran displayed exceptional judgment, skill, energy, and foresight as he led John S. McCain's 350 officers and crew through various demanding 7th and 3rd Fleet taskings and an 8-month CNO availability. Through skilled planning and sustained passion for excellence, John S. McCain successfully executed freedom of navigation and presence operations in the South and East China Seas, often in close proximity to Chinese naval surface combatants, safeguarding established international law and UN Security Council resolutions. Additionally, he executed John S. McCain's long-awaited home port shift back to the United States after 24 years of forward-deployed naval service in the 7th Fleet AOR. Entering immediately into a critical maintenance availability totaling over $65 million in repairs, his determination and leadership drove the timely upgrade and successful restoration of John S. McCain, delivering not only a warship ready to go to sea, but a warship ready to go into harm's way. Commander Tran's exceptional professionalism, personal initiative, and loyal devotion to duty reflected great credit upon himself and were keeping with the highest traditions of the United States Naval Service. For the President, R.B. Chadwick II, Rear Admiral, U.S. Navy, Commander, Carrier Strike Group 9.
Unknown caller.
John S. McCain at ease. Guests, please be seated. And a new pennant will be raised for Commander Gunta. John S. McCain, attention to orders. Guests, please stand for the reading of the orders.
I will now read my orders. From Chief of Naval Personnel to Commander Tin Tran. People's orders. When directed by reporting senior detached from USS John S. McCain and report to Regional Support Organization, PAC Northwest.
I will now read my orders. From Chief of Naval Personnel to Commander Joseph J. Gunta. Subject, Bugler's Order Number 1242. When directed by reporting senior, report to the Commanding Officer, USS John S. McCain, for duty as his relief.
And below the left pocket upon their relief. The transition of the Command at Sea pin from his right to left pocket signifies the completion of Commander Tran's tour as Commanding Officer, USS John S. McCain. Commander Tran's daughter and son, Lily and Daniel Tran, will assist Commander Tran in the transition of the Command at Sea pin. Commander Gunta's wife, Allison, and daughters, Sophia and Charlotte, will now place the Command at Sea pin above his right breast pocket to signify his assumption of command. Commander, United States Navy, departing.